Okay, today we will be talking about the second delivery from the review of this book called Persepolis. The last time we were talking about these two guys that arrived to Margie's home. They were political prisoners, so they arrived and they began to talk about all the tortures, all the dark side of the jail. Margie's got really impressed and it was really traumatical for her. So she talks with her mother about this and they talk about forgiveness and they talk about justice. But in this context of war, what is just? What is fair? On the next chapter called Moscow, we have a really important character that is Anush. Anush was Margie's uncle when he was 18 years old. He went with his uncle called Feridun to get the independence of a province of Iran. So it was really important. And he talks with Margie about all this story. And the message for her, it was that we can't forget the story of our family. Anush, Margie's father, got very intense political discussions, and it was really important for her. So I think that this is really nice that her first love, Margie's first love, got away. He had to run away from his home to the U.S. Here we have that not only her first love, her family and everybody have to run away. So here we have. Do you remember these two guys? Do you remember? Okay, here one of them is murdered on his home, and the second, his sister was murdered. So the survivor, have to run away with his family from Iran. That was a really dark part of the story. Followed by this, where Anush is arrested, and at the next day he got executed. So it was really dark and really impressive for Margie's. Here we have the next chapter, the trip. Something important is that one day the American embassy was occupied by the fundamentalist students. So there's no embassy, there's no visa. And the second thing that is important is that they closed the universities. So avoid people education is a way to control. After that, we have that the fundamentalist guys insult Margie's mother because she wasn't wearing the veil. It was tragical. And then Margie began to talk about how social life changed, how people dress change and everything. The chapter is called A Trip because Margie's family and her go on a trip from Italy and Spain, and then when they arrived home they got the fact that their country is on war. So imagine that. Here we have the other chapter, the F-40s. It's about all the attacks that Iran got. On the jewels, we have the really advanced part of the war where there's no food, there's no anything to live, so there's people fighting because of food. Some Margie's mother friends arrived to her home and they lived a little while on her home. On the last chapter of this second delivery called The Key, people still dying on the streets because of a stupid war. And then self-punished was something really common. And one day Margie and her friends decided to do a joke, and the teacher decided to expel them from the school. The chapter ends when Margie's maid were crying because in the school they were given a key from heaven to a little boy of 14 years. So let's think about it.